Good morning, guys. Welcome in. How's it going out there? We are into the weekend, guys. Friday. Let's get it, my degens. All right. Not a financial advisor, not financial advice. Make sure you guys do your research out there, okay? Also, guys, as always, check out the channel sponsor, LBank. Link is down below in the description. Do your leverage trading, your copy trading, your spot trading. No KYC required. Check out their new Launchpad program. Their PINs Launchpad program was extremely successful. The average person who put in $1,000, staked $1,000 into that, brought out, I believe they said, about 20 grand. So you want to get in and involved in the Launchpad program if it's something that interests you. As always, it's obviously not financial advice, but that's an option. So click the link down below for that. And always, guys, as well, join the member side to get exclusive content. You get early micro cap gems, get in on AI projects, gaming projects, metaverse, layer 1s, layer 2s, smart contract, and so on over on the member side. And you also get one-on-one time with me, where you get to talk with me for about an hour. You can pick my brain. You can ask me questions. This is extremely valuable to you if you are new to the crypto space. This is your first cycle. You need to know, especially going into the halving, you need to know what to expect going into it, what to expect during the halving, and what to expect 4 months afterwards, right? So definitely there's value there in joining the member side of $4.99 a month for that. Just click the join button down below. And you also get updates on my portfolio, when I'm buying, when I'm selling, when I'm DCAing, and when I am bailing on a project. So let's get into it, guys. Taraxa down 7.6%. Fantastic DCA opportunity. Chance. I guess it's a chance. Bitcoin holding 26.8. Caspa up 1%. I would still DCA into Caspa at this price. Quant, you guys, 90 bucks. When it's a couple $1,000, you're gonna wish you bought it at 90 bucks, guys. I'm telling you. H bar is almost even on the day. Gala's having a bit of a recovery. XRP from the got the proper party going on tonight in New York City. It's pumped up 53 cents, made it as high as 54.6 cents. Has had a bit of a pullback since then. We'll see how high it goes. Guys, I've been harping on that. Excuse me. I've been harping on that for a little while now, guys, that like people expecting XRP to go to $1 because of the party tonight. It's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen, right? I got dry powder on the side for the pullback when people get upset and, you know, get angry because it didn't go to $1 and start selling, and we see a little bit of a dump. If that happens, I will be buying your anger for sure. What do we got here? Where is Jasmy's almost down almost 1%. My DCAs, guys, obviously Dion Protocol, Taraxa, obviously, and we're going to go with Chainlink this morning. Those would be my DCA opportunities. What do we got here? KIR Finance, Jasmy Post 1, Jasmy Chain, and Native Token. Hara confirmed on Tuesday's call that in order to use Jasmy for utility, it would need to be bridged from the Ethereum to the Jasmy chain. I discussed this exact scenario in a recent YouTube video. The reason why is the gas fees. Jasmy on Ethereum is expensive to transact, whereas Jasmy on the Jasmy chain is not expensive and can scale to accommodate a far larger number of transactions. Now, the catch here is, Hara said, you can leave it where it is on Ethereum or move it if you want to participate in the ecosystem, which is the new Jasmy chain. If you remove it, it would move 1-to-1. Super bullish answer to that question, guys. Jasmy chain going to be very affordable to use, unlike Ethereum. Unpopular opinion, Ripple's proper party won't affect XRP's price. I've been saying that for about a week and a half now, guys. Do not build your expectations up so that you will get upset in the end. The most realistic outcome for me in terms of bullishness is Ripple might announce a couple of partnerships or something, something to that effect. But we're not going to see a settlement announcement or anything like that, right? We're not going to see an IPO announcement. And even if we saw an IPO announcement, I went over this the other day, Ripple IPOing affects the price of the stock of Ripple. It doesn't affect the price of XRP in the short term. In the long term, it might cause bigger money to come in to use the XRPL down the road. But in the short term, I don't know why people are bullish on that. Like an IPO for Ripple, they're rushing that. Like it's not going to do anything to the price of XRP itself, because XRP is not Ripple and Ripple is not XRP, right? Ripple stock would go through the roof. Very different. Imagine missing Caspa because the same mentality here. Bitcoin down to $2.70 a pop. So glad I didn't buy in on that mess. Somebody check in on Nick, man. See how he's doing today. The SEC has delayed its its decision about multiple spot Bitcoin ETF applications, including the one from BlackRock. The delay was expected for mid-October. The expedited delays appear to be due to the government shutdown risk. It's believed that the SEC will eventually approve BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF application, given the asset manager's influence. Agreed, guys. I've been saying this too for a few days. Like everyone's like, "Oh, why are they doing this? Why are they delaying them now when they're not due till November?" They're doing it because the government's going to be shut down. And if the government is shut down and no one's at the SEC, then the application process for these ETFs will expire. And if they have not been delayed or denied, they automatically are passed. And all of a sudden you have all these spot ETFs, right? And the SEC wouldn't have any control over that. So that's why they're delaying them right now, guys. That's it. There's no other deeper reason for it. I was watching people say that I think it was George last night was talking about Gary's twin brother Robert runs a asset manager of like a few $1 trillion asset manager fund, and that Gary's doing this to delay so that until his brother's firm is ready or something. I really don't think Gary's doing that, because if he got caught doing that, he would go to prison for a very long time, right? Well, I mean, he should. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. He should go to prison for a very long time. But these government officials never seem to get held accountable for anything that they do. So, I mean, you have the SEC going after people for insider trading, and how many congressmen and women make six figures but are worth tens of millions of dollars? Couple of clips of New York City today, guys. We got the proper party for Ripple, and this is what this is Brooklyn. This is what New York looks like right now. So the party, looking at ruining the party here. Something tells me Gary made a phone call and made the city of New York flood so that he could ruin the Ripple party. I'm joking, obviously. But that sucks, man. That sucks. If you're going to the Ripple party, bring your rain boots or a canoe. Here we go. XRP Ledger advertising has been featured on the Times Square, New York City. XRP takeover has begun. Look at that. Check it out, guys. XRP Ledger right there. New York City, Times Square, baby. Big things popping, little things stopping. Let's check this out here, guys. A little bit of an explanation from Brad Garlinghouse himself. Let's listen in.
Currency, also you're very involved in blockchain. Absolutely. So Ripple sells a blockchain technology to banks and payment providers and other financial institutions to do real-time settlement between banks. So today, if Morgan wanted to send $10,000 to London right now, the fastest way for her to do that is to drive to Newark or JFK and fly it there. Our view is, in a world of the internet, you can stream video from the space station. You should be able to do real-time settlement between banks, and we sell technology to banks to do that.
And the banks are getting on board with this, because I know there's a lot of paper pushing and also a lot of money attached to those settlements.
For sure. So we have over 100 banks working with Ripple today around the world. I think the vast majority of banks, like 99.9% of banks, actually are paying other banks, the kind of the global money center banks like JP Morgan or Citibank, to make those settlements. So a lot of the banks are very excited about democratizing how these global payments flow.
There's a belief that, I mean, you could transform the global payment system over time. Although then the alternative argument is you need a centralized, you can't have it decentralized, that it actually benefits from efficiencies. I would assume you come down in the latter.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think anytime you can do something without that central counterparty, you're going to reduce friction, which is measured by time, cost, speed. So by removing that central counterparty and going direct from point to point, you can skip going from the Bank of David to the Bank of Morgan to the Bank of Mike. You just go directly to the Bank of Mike.
So if the immediate opportunity is efficiencies in this area of the actual kind of nuts and bolts sort of plumbing of the financial system, how does that relate to the value of the Ripple tokens or of the Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies? They're taking on a separate life, it seems, from the future of adoption of this technology.
It's a great point. And I think one of the things we all have to remember is that the value of a token over the long term is really going to be derived by its utility. What problem is it solving? How big is that problem? How many customers do you have? There's no question there's a lot of hype in this system, and I don't actually think that's a good thing. For Ripple, we use this digital asset called XRP to settle liquidity needs between banks. So today there's $27 trillion parked at different banks around the world so they can make payments between each other. Our view is you can use a digital asset like XRP to do that in real time. Because XRP has been so efficient, it settles a transaction about 3 seconds compared
So
to
it just
1
passes
hour.
through that currency for that period of time.
That's correct.
Boom. Got some Joystream news, guys. The past 7 days have brought us 49 new creators with a total YouTube subscriber count of 1 million. Biggest creators, Crypto City, This is James, and Crypto Mystery. Honorable mentions down below. Bravo Wallet on Starknet, Alex MVP. Joystream continues to grow and expand. More and more people jumping over. Been considering it for quite some time, but we'll see what happens. We got some Big John Deaton, a crypto law, the irony of the interlocutory appeal. Following Ripple's victory in July, the Securities and Exchange Commission scrambled to save face by filing an appeal that fits their narrative. In August, the SEC sent a letter of intent to move for interlocutory appeal to Judge Torres. The letter outlined the agency's intent to seek interlocutory appeal on the judge's ruling that the defendant's programmatic sales and other sales of XRP failed the Howey test. As I wrote when that letter was sent, I expected Judge Torres to grant the motion, and that is exactly what she did. I believe the move allows the judge to fully explain her reasoning in the case, further making it appeal proof, as well as providing her the opportunity to address anything Judge Jed Rakoff has said. Judge Rakoff, presiding over the SEC versus Terra Luna Labs case, rejected the company's motion to dismiss and disagreed with Judge Torres's approach regarding Howey. The SEC alleges that Torres's ruling could impact their other lawsuits, which are of a similar nature. However, this is the weakest of their arguments. Exactly. What kind of argument is it? Well, I mean, we need you to go ahead and change your mind on your decision, even though you were right, because we want to sue other people, and your decision is preventing us from suing other people in other courts. So we need you to rule the way we want you to rule because it's convenient for what we want to do. What the hell kind of argument is that in court? I digress. With the right to file a formal motion for an interlocutory appeal granted, Judge Torres can now distinguish between her actual ruling and the Ripple case versus what Judge Rakoff purported it to be. It was the SEC who categorized the different sales, not Judge Torres. Recently, the SEC has filed its reply memorandum in further support of the motion to certify interlocutory appeal, and now claiming that it is only interested in efficient adjudication of the case. Unlike Ripple, who the SEC contends wishes the prolonged litigation laughable, I know. The facts are as follows. The SEC is asking for a stay on everything, which by definition and operation would automatically prolong the entire litigation. Similarly, as there is still a trial that needs to take place, an interlocutory appeal would not end litigation and would add an appeal to the overall process. Should an early appeal be granted, it would take another 1.5 years to 2 years for the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit to rule on this issue. If the SEC were to win at the Second Circuit, which I believe they won't, then the case gets remanded back to Judge Torres, who would then apply the facts of the case to other Howey factors not yet analyzed. In other words, even if the Second Circuit disagrees with Judge Torres' analysis of the Howey's third prong, the SEC does not win at summary judgment. Instead, Judge Torres would then apply the investment prong and the common enterprise prong of the Howey test, again, further prolonging the case. I believe Judge Torres could, should, and would give the same result even after a successful SEC interlocutory appeal. The SEC then could ask for a second interlocutory appeal to the Second Circuit on Torres's common enterprise analysis. Now, if the SEC loses at the Second Circuit, the case comes back to Torres for trial. Then, after the trial, there would be the usual appeal on all issues. The SEC claim that it wants faster adjudication than Ripple does might be the dumbest argument I've heard yet. It flies in the face of its request for an early appeal while asking for a stay. This irony is exactly what the motion of interlocutory appeal boils down to. The SEC has attempted to regulate by enforcement through the courts, and now that the agency has received a ruling it deems incorrect, the SEC will spitball separate arguments from ongoing cases into its appeal process, delaying litigation across the board. These are the desperate tactics of a regulator who has lost the case. John Deaton bringing the fire, bringing that heat. Here we go. Gold hits 9-month low as Bitcoin climbs amid hawkish Fed stance. Gold prices are wrapping up the week by plummeting to a 9-month low, with the price per ounce descending to $1,858 on Thursday. Transitioning into Friday, gold changes hands at $1,870 per ounce, marking a decline of 2.8% over the trailing 5-day. Concurrently, Bitcoin prices leaped on Thursday and have ascended by 1.5% against the US dollar over the course of the week. Now, guys, if you've never invested into precious metals or stocks or anything like that, 2.88% increase in the price of precious metals or stocks is significantly more impactful and more meaningful than it is in crypto, right? 2.8% drop or increase in price in crypto that's nothing. It's boring. So keep that in mind. Precious metals such as gold and silver are on a descending trajectory, with an ounce of gold now 3.5% lower than its value 30 days prior. Silver has faced a sharper decline, shedding 6.6% over the past month and a 2.9% in the preceding 5-day span. The leading duo of precious metals markets is enduring strain, a situation many attribute to hawkish monetary stance, emanating from the U.S. Federal Reserve. The Fed pronounced quantitative tightening coupled with elevated interest rates and propelling bond yields upward, thereby amplifying the vigor of the greenback. Bond yields are soaring to unprecedented heights, even against the somber economic horizon looming ahead. Peter Bukvar from Bleakley Advisors remarked on Thursday that the epic sovereign bond bubble continues to unwind. Following the prolonged period of inversion, the spread between long and short-term yields in bond markets has been reverting, albeit for unsavory reasons. This to me feels like it should lead to a tightening of financial conditions with a sharp rise in real yields and commodity prices. Even though the Fed has told us it isn't going to be hiking a lot more, articulated Subdura Rajappa, the chief of the U.S. rate strategy. I don't even know. So Associate General, looks French, on Thursday. He added, so the propaganda of this pain is going to be through the markets, such as the mortgage markets and credit markets, where issuance is linked to benchmark yields like 5 or 10-year rates. They're all going to start coming under pressure. Economists at ANZ Bank suggest that the charm of gold returns may wane until, sorry, just reading that again, until the U.S. central bank makes a turn on interest rates. The allure of precious metals is thought to be poised for a resurgence next year, as the analyst at ANZ Bank forecasts a diminishing vigor on the greenback's strength. So basically, guys, maybe as gold and silver are down, might be a good opportunity to DCA as the prices may go back up next year. History suggests gold returns remain decent during rate hike cycles and outperform during easing and lowering rate environments. The ANZ market strategists note the negative beta with the U.S. yield weakens during hiking cycles and strengthens during easing cycles. The financial institution and analyst said USD strength is likely to wane in 2024, while we think appreciation in the USD will sustain to year end. Firmer expectations of rate cuts and slowing economic growth momentum will see the USD dropping again next year. Amid the descent of gold, BTC's price has ascended, breaching the 27K per unit mark on September 29th. BTC bulls have successfully propelled market prices upward amidst economic ambiguity, with traders amassing profits. Bitcoin has mirrored the uptick in quality equity markets, as all 4 U.S. benchmarks indices concluded Thursday on the positive note, and futures markets hint at a modest incline come Friday afternoon. What do you think about the gold's downturn while Bitcoin raises higher in value? So gold and silver, like I said, guys, prices are down this year, probably going to remain down for the remainder of the year. So if you buy precious metals, excuse me, it might be a good opportunity to DCA some money into gold and silver. And yeah, I mean, price is expected to recover in 2024. So as always, guys, not financial advice, just bringing you the news. So as always, guys, that is the news today as we have it so far. Make sure you smash that like, smash that subscribe, guys. Let's get us to 1,000. We're so close. Just smash that subscribe button, guys. If you are new to the channel, it helps us out. Let's get to 1,000. And check LBank down below, like I said, for your spot leverage and copy trading. No KYC required. And join the member side, support the channel, get one-on-ones with me. If you are new to crypto, it is definitely valuable opportunity for you to learn as much as you can in a very short period of time. $4.99 a month supports the channel. Get exclusive content as well and updates on my personal portfolio. So that is it for this one, you guys. I will see you guys in the next one.